I look at the week ahead at each single day and tell myself, okay, that won't be too bad. I can do this. I can survive this. Almost like a busy day would be impossible for me to survive. It's like holding my breath and hoping that it will be all over soon. Hi, I'm Christine, your emotion coach and a highly sensitive person. That's probably why you're here listening to this. And I found this journal from Sunday, June 1st through 2008. And when I found that passage, I was like, oh my gosh, if I would have known that I was a highly sensitive back then in 2008, that would have saved me so much pain and hardship and just like so many pondering emotions of why am I so weak? Why am I feeling this way? Why do I get so anxious looking at the week ahead? I know there's some people who purposely stack their days. Like for example, nurses, right? They will work 3 days or 4 days out of the week and just pull like 12, 15, 18-hour shifts. And then they're good. They have like 4 days off. That would never work for me. It might work for some highly sensitives. I can see it if you build your day the way that you enjoy it, and maybe you're a thrill-seeking highly sensitive. That would definitely work. It would never work for me. When I have a busy day, the day before, I get such dread and anxiety that I'm just like, why? Why do that to myself? I rather have a little something every day that I need to be doing, and then I can have some rest time, some chill time, some me time, some creativity time, right? That is why it's so important. Oh, I'm talking about my course. I'm putting together a course right now. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be 33 days. 33 days, a program for 33 days with a video every single day. And I'm talking about the tools that are so important as highly sensitives. And I just filmed a video on segmenting your day and like really understanding your own rhythm and what you need. And this is one for me, right? I can't imagine being in an office, every day, all day long, 10, 12, however many hours. It would feel like I'm suffocating. But you have to know that for yourself, right? This is where it comes in, where it's so important to accept yourself as a highly sensitive. If anybody else will, that is up to them, right? Unfortunately or fortunately, that is up to them. Everybody gets to make up their own minds. But what is most important is that you accept your high sensitivity, that you accept yourself for who you are, for your highly sensitive nature, because then you can work with it. Then you can work with yourself. Then you can figure out your passion and what you can thrive in, right? So if you're curious about my course, it's not ready yet, but get on my email list, and that way you will know I'm sending out weekly kind of like little tidbits and foreshadowing and what I'm working on and getting your feedback to really make it an incredibly valuable tool for you. So get on my email list. You do that, I have a link below. I will even give you a free guide, the 3 most important things that I think every highly sensitive needs. They're so vitally important. I don't know how anybody lives without them, especially how I lived without them for so long. Check those out. Link is below. Let's get into journal number 10. June 1st, 2008. Yesterday was great. Yesterday, I was finally at complete ease and at the point of now my life begins. Now I can choose every day what to do. Now I can make time every day for meditation, stillness, wholesome food, and whatever I desire. I get to write my own script, and every day will be lived with happiness and honored all by its own. It's interesting that I usually look at the week ahead at each single day and tell myself, oh, that won't be too bad. I can do this. I can survive this. Almost like a busy day would be impossible for me to survive. It's like holding my breath and hoping that it will be over soon. anytime I try to imagine having to work in a job 8 to 10 hours per day in an office like a lot of people do, I feel suffocated. I feel like I cannot breathe. This scares me immensely because what if I had to work in a job like that in the future? I couldn't handle it. Like a flower, I would wilt and die. But then I reassure myself that I did not pick that kind of path. My path is in a profession I love, surrounded by people working on their own enlightenment and striving for happiness in everyday life. This puts me at ease and I can breathe again. Yet what about people who do not have this option? All they know is that they have to work hard every day to support their family. Do they have the chance to find and live a life like mine? And if not, how is it fair for me to live this life, to have time for myself, to live happy, daydreaming? Is it really a matter of choice when we come on this earth? How did I deserve so much more? What am I here to do? Am I here to teach by example, like so many books and psychics have told me? I'm just here to live a wonderful life so others can be inspired? What if they resent me for it? I know I have to let the thought pattern go, that I don't feel worthy to be healthy and happy and in love. I want to let this thought pattern go. I release it to the angels. I feel worthy of love. I feel worthy of a fulfilling romantic partnership. I feel worthy to regain and live my life in vibrant health. I feel worthy to make plenty of money with minimal time and effort. I feel worthy to be a teacher. I feel worthy of living my life in happiness and harmony. I feel worthy of receiving guidance from my angels and the universe in order to serve this earth. I am worthy. A client just called for an out call for both parents and 3 girls, and even though I had already planned to spend the evening by myself and relax, I decided, unfortunately probably for the money, I told myself for those $200 I will pay for an angel reading with Sasha to go ahead and do the out call tonight. So I called to set it up, and I can do the out call at the time they like. So the husband, whom I was talking to on the phone, said, "Great, I wish everything in my life was this easy." What a wonderful thing to say. Thank you, angels, for giving me the chance to make someone happy today. I am open to serve and to bring more happiness, harmony, and peace into people's lives. Send me more massage clients and I will gladly accept them, and I will be open for your guidance to give each individual exactly what he or she needs in that moment. I receive gifts and lessons every day. Thank you, my angels. Another challenge in my life is for me to stand my ground. I am who I am, and I am not afraid to show it to the world. I don't have to worry how people perceive me or if they like me. I perform actions in the most loving ways I know. I take my shoes off when entering someone's home, out of respect, even though they may think I'm weird. Do not be afraid or embarrassed by your actions. Follow your heart confidently. And if someone does not appreciate your ways or dislike you, then they are simply not ready to receive that kind of love. Today, I asked my power deck to give me tools to stay centered so that I can stay in this amazing state of inspiration, happiness, strength, and giddiness. Ecstasy is the card that I drew. Quote, "One of the finest ways to maintain a state of joyousness is to examine the dark side of your being, that instinctual nature that most human beings repress in civilized life. Within your instinctual nature are the seeds of ecstasy. We tend to live in our minds, in our emotions, occasionally in spirit, and almost never in our instinctual depths. We are born as wild as mountain lions, but live most of our lives like sheep, forgetting and denying whole parts of ourselves. Sit on the earth with your back against a tree and get in touch with your roots, which move deep into Middle Earth. This will restore your joyousness and balance. Each day, listen to your body, mind, and your heart. What are they telling you about a given situation? Ecstasy is like a wind horse waiting to be ridden, the last wild ride before your passage into enlightenment. Take courage and live your passion in ecstasy. What a message. End of quote. And this card just kind of singled itself out. Illumination is the name of the card. Quote, darkness is the time when the world changes and your being begins to glow. Reflect on the new vision that has been living on the perimeter of your consciousness. An idea is stalling you and awaits your invitation, a place within you to begin life. The totality of your creativity comes after you have begun your work on the sacred painting of your life. It is then that the muses of inspiration surround you like eagles and cheer you on to illumination. End of quote. And I ask my angels, surprise me. Tell me how I can remain in this state of inspiration and happiness. The card I drew was have confidence. Quote, this card is a message from your angel saying, you can do it. Don't listen to the voice that asks, who, me? You are utterly worthy. Since you're a perfect daughter or son of the Creator, and angels surround you every step of the way. Stay in the moment and focus on one step at a time. End of quote. Look at these cards I drew. It cannot be coincidence how well they answer my questions. My angels are with me always. Now it is time to sleep. All is well. You are safe. Everything will appear at the right time when it is supposed to. There we go. That was journal number 10. Whew, my goodness, where should we even start with this one? I'll just say a couple of few things. The last couple of journals I've been finishing with drawing cards. I still do that here and then in my life, especially when I'm just kind of blah, just kind of stuck, just kind of feel like, ooh, I just need something inspiring. I have, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 15 card decks, different card decks, animal card decks, spiritual, angels, goddesses, different card decks. I can link them below or show you a picture if you're curious which ones I work with, but it really is just something that has a positive message, something that inspires you. I like to have card decks that no matter what message I draw is going to be uplifting and inspiring, because that is usually what I need, right? I need a positive, uplifting message to help me get up in my frequency. That's the name of the game. That's what it's all about, right? And it just helps me so much when I just got into being a channel. I just read the book You Are a Channel by Sarah Landon. She just came out with it. It was so exciting how I rendezvoused with her YouTube video and with this book. And so she really talks about communing with the divine, communicating with your higher self, communicating with angels, communicating with ascended masters. And for me, one way to always easily do it, I have done some automatic writing, but one of the easiest and just most wonderfully playful ways for me to do it is just to draw a card from the card deck. I always love what it brings, the messages that it brings. So one of the big things I already talked about at the beginning of the video, you can really hear my highly sensitive nature shining through in this video, right? This is when it's so valuable, when you can go back through your past and kind of see your own nature and realize why you felt how you felt, why you did what you did. So neat. And there was a long span where I felt incredibly weak and where I felt like I needed to gain strength. I needed to fortify myself. It wasn't fair that I was able to take breaks during the day, that I was a massage therapist, that I had a massage table to take naps on between clients, that I could take an hour off and go to the park where I could reconnect with nature, right? All these things that was available to me that I know is not available to everybody who's working in an office in a 9-to-5 job, who has kids early, right? Now, gosh, what, almost 20 years, not quite 16 years later, I have a much different perspective. I don't feel like my life is so easy anymore. I'm a single mom. I'm working harder than ever, but it's also very joyful, uplifting, fulfilling work that I do. But life has certainly gotten a lot more hectic, and I don't have quite as much free time. And also during that time where I felt like I was so blessed, I was definitely getting myself into a lot of debt because I felt like I needed that time for myself, and it took that time for myself, and it was really focusing on my vibration, on my frequency, on feeling good. That was my number one focus. But I was sloppy with my money. I just did not have the tools yet, the mindset yet to understand how I needed to structure my life in order to build in this kind of ease of life and these pockets of bliss and inspiration and creativity and rest that I need as a highly sensitive. So we're kind of coming back around to understanding who you are and not seeing it as a limitation or something that you must push through and push against, but rather going with it and saying, what is it that I need, that my spirit needs, that my body needs, and what do I want to accomplish, and how do I find the balance between the two, right? I'd be curious if you have encountered any of those kind of feelings around workplace, around having to work, or if you have decided, like me, to be your own boss, to be an entrepreneur, right? On the heels of that was also, it wasn't just that I felt like I had an easier career that I had chosen. I also felt like as I was getting into personal development and spirituality, especially when I heard about law of attraction, I wanted to shout it from the rooftops. I wanted to tell everybody, I was like, this is how easily you can be in charge and you can create your life. And I've gotten so much happier from it, and I was just wanting to share it with everybody, especially the people that I loved. But you know how it goes. You have to be in the right place in your life and receptive to those kind of things. And not a lot of my family and friends were at that part of time, or maybe just not the way I was phrasing it. And then this was so interesting to kind of feel into that mindset. It's because my family and my friends were not choosing this easier route that I had found. I felt like I was not allowed, I was not worthy to take it either, because who am I to take the easy way? Who am I to get ahead more easily? Who am I, right? It was also always that feeling of like, who am I? Right? It's like if they have to struggle and suffer, then I'm not any better than them, so I need to be there struggling and suffering as well. And it was really impactful when I heard Abraham Hicks, one of my favorite spiritual teachers, say, you cannot get sick enough to help the sick people get well, and you cannot get broke enough in order to help those who are struggling financially into a better financial place, right? It's like you can't get there from there. You have to be the one soaring. You have to be the one who comes from wellness. You have to be the one who is already figuring it out, who's stepping ahead, who's in that higher vibrational place in order to show them by example, right? Not showing off like, look at me, I'm up here, but holding that vibration and streaming out that frequency, that vibration, so that they can see it, feel it, and strive for it, try to match it. And that is the way that they can reach for what you have already reached for and achieved, and basking in it, right? Write me a comment below if you have ever struggled with that. If you feel like, ooh, I'm in a better place, I'm better off than my friend, I feel guilty for being better off for feeling like I'm in a better place? How is it fair for me to feel good when my son is struggling, when my mom is struggling, when my friend is struggling? You know, these different feelings that we have as highly sensitive. I mean, everybody has those feelings, but we, as always, just feel them much more deeply, and it can really, I don't want to say shut us down, but it can definitely keep us in loops of rumination and really keep us from embracing the totality of our own power, you know, coming into our own power and wisdom and authenticity. All right, I would love to hear from you. Make sure you sign up for my email list. Link is below. I would love to communicate with you, tell you more about this amazing course that I'm creating right now, give you those 3 tools that are going to already catapult you into like having the tools that you need as a highly sensitive. And I'll see you in the next video. Oh my gosh, we'll be on journal number 11. So exciting. I'll see you then.